Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from the Scalar Learning channel. And this is it. This is the big day. We've been doing this all the last 11 days, and this is the final culmination. This is incredible, and I'm so excited because tomorrow's test day. And I think if you're here today, you've been with me on this entire journey, and I hope these videos have been helpful. We released the last of the tips today as well, the 7th tip. And yeah, I don't know, man. I think those tips came out great. I think they've helped people. People have already been commenting saying they were using them and they were helpful. And I thought really hard about them. So I think that it's just been great. It's been exciting. And I've met some, not met, but like seen a lot of people that have been regulars. Eunice, obviously, she's been up here every day. And I believe she's from Romania. And that's super cool. And she's been participating. She was saying how this is an amazing community. Ali up here, what's up? You've watched everything. I could swear you're faking the time. I guess it's being native English speaker that gets you so fast. I mean, no, it's that, but it's practice. It's just tons and tons of practice. But these tests are, I mean, I have taken them before, so it's not like a totally new attempt. But yeah, if you see the next time I get to do a new, fresh test, like I'm still really fast, just maybe I'm a little bit faster here. So that's also another thing. Let's see. Tomorrow, Zaidi, what's up? Mina Hill. We're going to do the same kind of questions which are on the practice. Very similar, right? Not the exact same, but very, very similar. These practice tests are super similar to the real deal. Let's get that 1600. Let's go. Tectonic. Your videos help. Oh, well, that's amazing. Am I pronouncing your name right? Zaidi, like Heidi with a Z, I'm guessing. Hey, man, you are welcome, Neil Kant. I'm so glad to hear that. And Triumbility supposed to do the perfect 800. God. Well, I'm going to do my best to help you. Okay, guys, we got a lot of stuff to cover. We got a full test today, plus we're going to do a Q&A. So I'm going to jump right into the mix. Thank you for all the likes, by the way, ahead of time. I really appreciate it. It's a vote of confidence before I even begin, so that is incredible. And, hey, thank you for that C3R Ti-fied. And here we go. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. What value z satisfies the equation above? So I'm going to subtract z from both sides and make it z plus 1 equals 0. Subtract 1 from both sides, z equals -1. Boom, done. Plug it back in. -1 times 2 is -2 plus 1 is -1 equals -1. Boom, done. Number 2. A television with price $300 is to be purchased with an initial payment of $60 and weekly payments of $30. So 30, and they use W. So which of the following plans we find the number of weekly payments double required to complete the purchase, assuming there are no taxes or fees. So we want this to equal 300, and that is C. Now they put these in a different order, but of course that's the same thing, right? 60 and 30, like they're adding, so it doesn't matter. Number 3, the table above shows shipping charges for an online retailer that sells sporting goods. There's a linear relation between the shipping charge and the weight of the merchandise. Which function can be used to determine the total shipping charge in dollars for an order with a merchandise weight of X pounds? Okay, hold on. Got it. Okay. So we want an equation going up. So every 5, so we can do a slope actually. It's linear, right? So every 5, as it goes up by 5, it goes up by 495, it looks like. So 495, what is that? Divided by 5, goes in 49, 9 times 45, 4. Yeah, so it's 99 cents. So it's 99 cents is the slope. So I see a slope down there, 9999. These are out. So I assume it's this one. No, wait, because, yeah, 0 would be, yeah. It's probably not $0. Also, if I plug in 5, that's 495 plus that, which is 16. Boom, done. Numero 4. The line in the XY plane above represents the relation between height, feet, diameter, and cylindrical Doric columns, ancient Greek architecture. How much greater is the height of a Doric column that has a base of 5? How much greater is the height of a Doric column that has a base of 5? So it's 35. Then the height of a Doric column that has a base of 2, which is 14. So what's the difference? It is 21. So that is, let me just make sure I didn't make a mistake. 5 and 2, 35 and 14, 21. Boom, done. Number 5. If x is greater than 0, which of the following is equivalent to the given expression? Square root of 9x squared. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of x squared is x. 3x is a, boom, done. Number 6. What are all values of x to satisfy the equation above? So I'm going to factor the top part because it's a difference of squares. It's x minus 1, x plus 1, boom, over x minus 1 equals negative 2. These cancel, cancel. So x plus 1 equals negative 2. Subtract 1 from both sides. X equals negative 3. Okay, it's just negative 3. Now here's the deal. They've also got this one where it's negative 3 and negative 1. Oh, sorry, wait. Negative 1 could be a solution. Hold on. No, it's not. I don't know. Never mind. But when you cancel something out, you're basically removing an extraneous solution. So I guess that would be well, I don't even, this doesn't make sense. Forget it. But yeah, negative 1, this also has negative 3. So you can quickly see if you plug in negative 1, it doesn't work. Negative 1 squared is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So it'd be 0 over negative 2, which is not equal to negative 2. So A is the winner. Number 7. The graph of this function is xy plane was f of 0. So this is function notation. They want to know what's the function value, what's the y value when x equals 0. X equals 0 on the y-axis, so it's right here. 4 is the winner. Done. 8. In the figure above, point B lies on AD. What is the value of 3x? Okay, got it. So again, underline that. That's one of my tips because they're not asking for x, they're asking for 3x. So if this is a 90-degree angle, this is a 90-degree angle, which means x plus 2x plus 2x, which is 5x, is also equal to 90 divided by 5 divided by 5. Mental math trick to divide by 5. Move the decimal point over and double it, so that's 18. So x is 18, but A is not the answer because we're not looking for x. We're looking for 3x, which is 54. Boom, done. Number 9. Which of the following is an equation of line L in the xy plane? The equation of line L is, so we got y equals negative 4 for the y-intercept down here and a slope of down 1 over 1. So that's negative 1 over 1, which is negative 1, which is negative x. So there's my equation of the line. Y equals negative x minus 4. Now, they don't have that, right? They don't have it in slope-intercept form. Does that mean I did the wrong thing by doing this? Absolutely not. This is amazing because you can see what it is in standard form. So I know this is the right equation. I can just manipulate it to go to standard form, meaning I can add x to both sides and I get x plus y equals negative 4. And it is C is the winner. Done. Now, if you want to double check it, take a couple values and plug them in and see if it works. So let's say this one, negative 2 and negative 2. Negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. Let's try this one. This is 1 and negative 5. 1 plus negative 5 is negative 4. 2 points are verified. Boom, done. Number 10. The graph of this is shown. The graph crosses the y-axis at point 0k. It's 12. All right, I'm going to tell you why. So 0k means the x value is 0 and the corresponding value is k, and that's what we're solving for. So all I got to do to figure this out is plug in 0 into the equation. You plug it in there and there for x. That zeroes out, that zeroes out. You're left with 12, and that's the winner. Number 11. A circle on the xy plane has center 5, 7, and radius 2. All I'm going to do is I'm going to write the standard form of a circle. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Guess what? Now I can plug and chug because h is the x value of the center, 5, and k is the y value of the center, 7, and r is the radius, so that's 2 squared is 4, and there we have it. X minus 5, y minus 7 equals 4. A is the winner. Done. 12. In the figure above, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. What is the value of cosine of E? Now, A, B, C, that means A is equal to D, which you can see there. Angle B is equal to angle E, and F and C are equal, but that's okay. Because it's asking, here's the deal. They're asking for cosine of E. But angles, it doesn't matter the size of the triangle. If cosine of an angle is equal to cosine of the same angle, regardless of where they are. It's a ratio, right? So they don't have any markings for this triangle, so I don't care about this. If they want cosine of B, it's the same as saying cosine of B. Cosine of B is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 12 over 13. Let me just make sure. B, E, 12 over 13. B is the winner. Done. By the way, cosine can never be greater than 1, so that one's out anyways. And sine would be opposite over hypotenuse, 5 over 13. Number 13, in the xy plane, the graph of the function, blah, blah, has 2 x-intercepts. What is the distance between the x-intercepts? Got them. So we are going to factor and set it equal to 0. So what multiplies 4 adds to 5? It's plus 4 plus 1. So my two solutions are what makes this go to 0, negative 4. What makes this go to 0, negative 1. So my two solutions are negative 4, negative 1, and that is my distance here, negative 1 and negative 4. Here, what is the distance? 3. Done. Let's make sure I didn't make a mistake. -1, 1, -5. Yep. And -4, 16, -20. Yep. Okay, 14. What are all values of x to satisfy the given equation? So we're going to okay, I can plug these in and do it. You know what? I'm going to do that. I already know 1 is out. If I plug 1 in, I get square root of 4 equals 1 minus 3, which is -2. And in these equations, you might be like, well, square root of 4 can also be -2. Only take the positive root. So 2 does not equal -2, so that's out. So that's out, and yeah, now it's these two. Now we plug in 9. So plug in 9. 4 times 9 is 36 equals 9 minus 3. Square root of 36 is 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. 2 is the winner. Done. What I was gonna do was I was gonna square both sides. That's like the standard way, and then you get a quadratic and not blah blah blah. But I was like, that's so much easier. I can't justify it. 15. In the system of equations above, a is constant. For which of the following values of a does the system have no soluciones? Now, this is a system of linear equations, and when it has no solutions, it's when the lines are parallel, meaning they have the same different y-intercept, same slope. So I'm going to put these both in the slope-intercept form. So the first one, I'm going to add 3x to both sides. Y equals 3x plus 6. This one's going to need a slope of 3 then. So it's 2y. First, 2y equals -ax, subtracting that from both sides, plus 4. I'm going to divide by 2y equals -a over 2x plus 2, like this. So these two have to be equal in order for these to have, because the y-intercept's already different. So 3 has to equal -a over 2, right? So if I multiply both sides by 2, I get -a equals 6. Obviously, divide both sides by negative. A equals -6. So A is the winner. Now I'm going to double check. Plug it in. It's -6x plus 2y equals 4. So again, I need a slope of 3. So if I add 6 and divide by 2, it is a slope of 3. Boom, done. Okay, 16. Here we go. A manufacturer shipped units of a certain product to 2 locations. The equation above shows the total shipping cost T in dollars for shipping C units, blah, 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 blah. If the total shipping cost is $47,000, so I'm going to plug and chug as I read, $47,000, and 3,000 units were shipped to the farther location. C is closer, right? And what was it? 3,000 to the farther location. How many units were shipped close to the location? Plug and chug and solve. Multiply. So 47,000 equals 5C plus 3 times 12 is 36, and then 1,000. Subtract 36,000. Subtract 36,000. Boom. 5C equals 11,000. And now we divide by 5 again. Do my trick, right? You move the 0 over once, and then you double it to 2,200. And done. I have to check very carefully because if I'm off on anything on these calculations, I've blown it. There's no multiple choice. Okay, so the total shipping T, C is closer and F is farther. So total shipping, so that's 12 times 3,000, 36,000, 47,000, 11,000 divided by 5, 2,200, boom, done. Number 17. If A and B are the solutions to the equation above, what is the value of this? Absolute value of A minus B. God. Okay, so what are the two solutions? So I'm going to just go okay. Well, you can figure it out pretty easily, but I'm going to go the standard method. I bifurcate into 2 equations. 2x plus 1 equals 5. 2x plus 1 equals -5. Then I'm going to solve 2x equals, subtract 1 is 4, then divide by 2, x equals 2. Here I'm going to subtract 1, 2x equals -6, divide by 2, x equals -3. So A and B are the solutions. So what is the absolute value of 2 minus -3? And that it becomes a plus, and it is 5. Absolute value of 5 is 5. Boom, done. Now you might be like, well, wait a minute. I don't know what's A and what's B. Well, what if it was -3 minus 2, right? Absolute value of that. So -3 minus 2 is -5. Absolute value of that is still 5. And of course, they had to do it that way because you can't have, 2 possibilities. Actually, well, maybe you could, but then they'd accept both. Juan purchased an antique that had a value of 200 at the time of purchase. Each year, the value of the antique is estimated to increase by 10% over its value the previous year. I already know this is a 1.1 to the T power or something. The estimated value of the antique in dollars 2 years after the purchase can be represented by 200A, where A is a constant. What is the value of A? Got it. So what this is the estimated value after 2 years is 1.1 to the second power. So A is basically this. Now, we can't enter it like that, so you actually have to square it. But if you're like, well, what the heck is 1.1 squared? Think about 11. What's 11 squared? It's 121. But since it's 1.1, we got 2 decimal places in the mix. So move the decimal spot 2 to the left. 1.21 is the value of A. Boom, done. Number 19. Based on the system of equations, what is the value of 5x plus 5y? This is one of the layups that the College Board gives you. Look at this. Don't try and solve for x and y individually because, I mean, you can, and it's fine, but look how easy this is. If you spot it, just add them up straight together. 2x plus 3x is 5x. And underline that. 3y plus 2y is 5y equals 2,500. What are they asking for? 5x plus 5y. Right here, 2,500 is the winner. Done. And number 20, if u plus t and u minus t, what is the, okay. One of my students showed me a really amazing way to do this, and I forgot how to do it that way. I'm going to do it just the old school way. So difference of squares. Always look to factor on this test, and here we can factor. That's u minus t, u plus t, okay? And then this guy just chills. And now I know that u minus t is 2, and u plus t is 5. So look, I can just replace this with 2 times 2 times 5. 2 times 2 is 4 times 5 is 20. Boom, done. That's it. 11 minutes to spare, but that's all right. We're just going to rock it to the, we're just going to check the answers and, you know, it's all good. If I made a mistake, I will review it and explain what went down. You know, normally when I take these tests, I like to take them for the first time so you're seeing, like, actually me do everything in real time and think, you know, process and problem solve. So these ones, I just did it because people were requesting them. But I've done these before, but I haven't looked at them in a long time, so it's somewhat fresh-ish, but yeah, just a disclaimer. Okay, here we go. Let's see. The red pen of justice has returned. BC. So BC. 5 is AADC. AADC. Then 9 is CDAB, CDAB. And 13 through 15 is CBA, CBA. Okay. And then we've got 16 through, this is 2200. Then this is 5. This is 1.21. This is 2500. And this is 20. We got them all. Legend. Okay, we're going to get started pretty soon into the next section. Let me just see if there's any questions. We got, oh, look at that. 80 people. Amazing. I skipped school today to mentally prepare. Good. This is an important test. So I really appreciate the content you provide for us. Ozzy, the ones who can't afford to spend money on course and tutors, you're very welcome. And that's why doing these are amazing. Because look, I'm not going to beat around the bush, right? This is a business, and I'm obviously doing this business also to make money, but that's what's so amazing about YouTube. I mean, I get to do, look, I want to continue helping people for that can't afford stuff, because a lot of times the thing that makes me most happy and excited is when people are self-motivated and willing to put in the work and appreciate what I do. And I think you guys fall into that bucket 100%. So I love to do this. And the beauty of it is, I mean, it's like win-win. I get to help you guys for free, and the channel, you know, it builds stuff out for me too and creates different avenues and opportunities for me personally, business-wise, etc. So I love it, and I'm so happy you appreciate it. I'm so happy you guys are here, and you guys end up doing so well. I've seen it over and over. And by the way, for anybody who takes the test tomorrow and wants to share the results with me and create a testimonial, we'd love to have you. We'd love to feature you on the channel. So do you always put the 1 before 0.1? Yeah, you do. You have to add. So if it's like a 25% increase, you know, compounded, it's 1.25. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to reset the timer for the calculator section to 55 minutes. We're going to pull up a calculator. So I got something to work with here if need be. And that's it. We're going to go to the beginning. Wait, where is it? We are going to go to the beginning. Here we go. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. A helicopter initially hovering 40 feet above the ground begins to gain altitude at a rate of 21 feet per second. So starts at 41, that's my y-intercept, and then gain altitude at this per second. And which of the following represents the helicopter's altitude y? T seconds, boom, 21T plus 40, 21T plus 40. They did it reverse, but it's still the same. Boom, done. Let me just make sure. Second, 40 feet above the ground. Yeah. All right, number 2. A text messaging plan charges a flat fee of $5 per month, up to 100 text messages, plus 25 cents for each additional text message sent that much. What the following represents the cost of Y and X? Okay. So we're spending $5 initially, all the way up to 100, and then we start. I think A is it. Let me just see B. No, that makes no sense. That makes no sense either, because then you're paying more than $5 at 100, and that makes no sense. All right, number 3. Okay. Jake buys a bag of popcorn in a movie theater. He eats half of the popcorn during the 15 minutes of previews. After eating half of the popcorn, he stops eating for the next 30 minutes. Then he gradually eats the popcorn until he accidentally spills all of the remaining popcorn. Which of the following graphs could represent the situation? Jake has a bag. Okay, so he eats half of the bag during the first 15 minutes. Then he stops for a bit. So it should be like he goes down, then he stops for a bit, so it should be flat, and then he eats more, and then he spills, and then it all goes empty. So something like this, which is literally B. Like, this makes no sense. This looks like he refills it. This makes no sense, because then he refills it. There's nothing about refilling it. This is like, makes no sense. B is the winner. 4. If 20 minus x equals 15, what is the value of 3x? Again, they're not solving for x, solving for 3x. So let's just solve for x first, I guess. So I'm going to add x to both sides, 15 plus x. Then I'm going to subtract 15, x equals 5. But they don't want 5. We want 3 times 5, which is 15. Boom, done. Now double check. Or wait. Yeah, that's fine. We don't need to double check. Okay, for the function defined above, what is the value of f of -1? Function notation, plug and chug. So it's -1 plus 3. Just replace the x with -1. -1 plus 3 is 2. 2 over 2 is 1. Boom, done. Number 6. Which of the following is equivalent to this? Distribute. I get 2x to the third power minus 6x squared. That's all I want. 2x cubed minus 6x squared. D is the winner. Done. Number 7. Retail companies, 50 large stores located in different areas throughout the state. A researcher for the company believes that employee job satisfaction varies greatly. From which of the following sample methods is most appropriate to estimate the proportion of all employees of the company who are satisfied? Selecting one of the 50 stores at random. No, I would know, because this varies varies greatly, so that makes no sense. 10 employees from each store at random. That seems okay. Surveying 25, no, because if you're high paid or low paid, like, you might be biased one way or the other. Creating a website, no. First 50 responses, that's a bias towards, like, again, how much people want. Like, people who are really upset might be like, I'm going to go on there immediately, right? So this is nice, randomized, all that stuff. That's a key word, right? They say 10 employees at random. Number 8. 2 graphs above show total amounts of money that Ian and Jeremy each have deposited into their savings account for the first 7 weeks after opening their accounts. After they made their initial deposits, how much more did Ian deposit each week than Jeremy? So Ian's depositing 100 every week. Jeremy's depositing 50 every week. So $50 more. How much more did Ian deposit each week than Jeremy? So $50. C is the winner. Done. Number 9. The function h is defined above. What is h of 5 minus h of 3? So first, h of 5, you just plug in for x, 2 to the 5th. Minus h of 3, which is 2 to the 3rd. 2 to the 5th, you can use a calculator, but I have that one memorized. It's 32. 2 cubed is 8. 32 minus 8 is 24. Boom, done. Number 10. A researcher surveyed a random sample of students from a large university about how often they see the movies. Using the sample data, the researcher estimated that 23% of the students in the population saw a movie at least once per month. The margin of error for this estimation is 4%. Got it. So 23%. So margin of error means it could be as low as 19%, as high, it goes in either way, as high as 27%. That's usually what they ask about in these questions, which defines the most appropriate conclusion about all students at the university. So research 23% of the population saw a movie at least once per month. It is unlikely that less than, no, it's not. I mean, it could be like margin of error, at least 23%, but no, that makes no sense. The research is between 19% and 27%. No, it is 19 to 27, but it has nothing to do with how sure he is. It is plausible, I like that language, that the percentage of students who see a movie at least once per month is between the margin of error, that entire zone. Boom, done. 11, A and B. The table shows the list of numbers, which is long as a true statement comparing list A and B. Let's look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. So They both have the same median middle value, which would be 3.5. They both, I think they both have the same mean. Okay, so wait, sorry, I didn't mean the reason. Means and standard deviation. So standard deviations are different. List A has a bigger standard deviation because it's more spread out. So the standard it's not even that. Standard deviations are not the same. So the means are, I think the means are the same, but let's double check. 1 plus 2 is 3, 6, 10, 15, 21. So it's 21 over 6 for this one, for the top one, which is 3.5. And then for the bottom one, 5, 8, 12, 16, 21. So again, it's 21 over 6, which is 3.5. So the means are the same. Let me just double check. 8, 12, 16, 21, 6, 10, 15, 21. Boom, done. Number 12. A book was on sale for 40% off its original price. The sale price of the book was $18. What was the original price of the book? Okay, so a book was on sale for 40%. That means it's 60% of its original price. So X is the original price. If the sale price is or was $18, now I get an equation. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 0.6, and we got our answer. So it's the same as 18 divided by 6, which is 3. But since it's point, it's going to be 30. So 30 is the winner. Boom, done. 1 second, 40% off. Let me just make sure. 40, 12, 13. Okay, what weeks after initial treatment? 3 colonies of insects were each treated with a different pesticide over an 8-week period to test the effectiveness of 3 pesticides. Colony A, B, and C were treated pesticides A, B, and C respectively. Each pesticide was applied every 2 weeks to one of the 3 colonies over an 8-week period. The bar graph above shows the insect counts for each of the 3 colonies 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks after the initial treatment. Which of the following colonies showed a decrease in size every 2 weeks after the initial treatment? Decrease after every treatment. So A, definitely. B, definitely. So A and B, not C, because C goes up, then down. So A and B. 1 and 2, boom, done. Number 14. Of the following, which is the closest ratio of the total number of insects in all 3 colonies in week 8 to the total number of colonies at the initial treatment? Got it. So ratio 8 to initial. So 8 first. So we'd have, like, let's say about 20, 10, 30, and 50, which is 80. To 6, let's just say these both average out to 60. So 60 and 60, it's 120 plus 80 is 200. Pretty good estimate. And that reduces to 8 to 20, which divided by 4 is 2 to 5. A is the winner, done. 15, a right circular cone has a volume of 24, so has a volume of 24 pi cubic inches. The height of the cone is 2 inches. What is the radius of the base of the cone? So that's what we're searching for. So right circular cone, the formula is, volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. So it says the volume is 24 pi, so we just fill in the formula. This can be found in the math, this is on the SAT, they give you this formula. So if you don't remember, just plug and just look it up and plug and check. 1/3 pi, and then r squared is unknown, and then the h is 2. So now we're going to slowly solve. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and I get 12 pi equals 1/3 pi r squared. Multiply both sides by 3, 36 pi equals pi r squared. Divide by pi, and then r squared equals 36, which means r equals 6. Let me just make sure. So r equals 6. So 6 squared. 6 squared is 36. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm hearing noise in my house. 6 squared is 36 pi, and then times 2 is 72 pi, and then 1/3 of that is 24. 16. In 2015, the populations of city X and city Y were equal. From 2010 to 2015, population of city X increased by okay. So 2015 from 2. Hold on 1 second. Hey Malak, can you just make sure? Yeah, see what's going on. Thank you. From 2010 to 2015. Sorry. So X and Y are equal. So here they're equal. In the population city X increased by 20 from 2000 to, so city X is it increased by 20%, so it becomes 1.2x. And the population of city Y decreased by 10%, so it becomes 0.9y. So 1.2x and 0.9y, and those two are equal because it's saying 1.2x equals 0.9y. And then the population of city X was 120. So now we know X was 120,000 in 2010. What was the population? Okay. So we want to know what is Y, basically. And I've got all my nice equation, everything set up. So I'm going to plug and chug. So 1.2 times 120,000 equals 0.9y. So 1.2 times 120,000, equals 144,000 equals 0.9y. Divide by 0.9, divide by 0.9, and we've got y equals, let me just do the calculation. That is that divided by 0.9 is 160,000. Let's see if that makes sense. So y was 160,000. Yeah, like decreasing by 10% is 16,000, so it's 144. This one increased by 20%. Yeah, it works. Boom, done. Numero 17. The volume of a sphere is given by the formula blah, 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 where r is the radius of the sphere, which the following gives the rate. Okay, this is an isolating quantities question. So all we're trying to do is isolate r. Now, they didn't write r equals. Normally they do, but it's all good. So we're going to isolate r. So first I'm going to multiply both sides by 3/4, the reciprocal of 4/3. So I got 3/4 v equals pi r cubed. Then I'm going to divide both sides by pi, and then I'm going to take the cube root of both sides to just get r by itself. Boom. So now it's the cube root of 3v over 4 pi d is the winner. And you see that little 3 there, so that's got to be there. Done. Number 18. The table above shows the results of a survey in which user asked how many they would watch the video. Okay. Based on the table, which of the following is close to the probability that a tablet user answered always, given that the tablet user did not answer never? So given that they did not answer never, so we remove that, and now we're only in this bucket. What is the probability that they answered always? It's 30.9, and we can literally just use these percentages as like numbers. So 30.9 out of the sum of these ones, 24, the remaining 24.3, because we're not including the never people. And what is that? 30.9. So let's use our calculator. We've got 24.3 plus 13.5 plus 30.9. And then we've got 30.9 divided by second answer, which is 0.44, which rounds up to 0.45. Boom, done. And that makes sense, right? We're in that zone with, what is it? With always, and it does look like about half of the remaining, so that feels pretty accurate. 19. Oh, sorry. Okay, and the equation above, A is constant. The graph of the equation, the xy plane is a parabola. Which of the following is true about the parabola? Got it. Okay, so they're talking about minimum. So here's the deal. Minimum or maximum is going to be at the vertex. Doesn't matter. Now, because this is a negative in front, it's not a minimum. It's a maximum, because if it's not negative, it'd be like this, and it'd be a minimum. But since it's negative, it's going down, which means the vertex is a maximum. So now what is the vertex? It's the opposite of what's in there, which is 3, and then just A by itself. So 3A is the max. Boom, done. 20. The maximum value of data set of 25 positive integers is 84. A new set containing 26 positive integers created by including 96 of the original data set. Which of the following measures must be, it's the range, must be 12 greater. Now, why do I say immediately the range? Because this top value is now 96, which is 12 more than 84. Range is given by this minus the smallest number. But it doesn't matter what the smallest number is, and I'll give you an example, and you can test it this way if you're not sure. Let's say the smallest number is 1. 84 minus 1 is 83. Now it's 96 minus 1, which is 95. That's a range of 12 greater. So you can do that if you don't want to be so abstract. You can plug and chug and kind of figure it out like that. And if you're still not sure, oh, I didn't circle it. If you're still not sure, you can do another example, right? And just make sure everything's cool. All right, 21. Clayton will mix X milliliters of 10% by mass saline solution with Y milliliters of 12. Okay, so there's a formula, whatever. The equation above represents the situation. If Clayton uses 100 milliliters of the 20% by mass solution, how many milliliters of the 10% by mass solution must he use? Okay, Clayton will mix X, hold on one second. Clayton use 100 of the 20, so Y is 100 basically is what they're saying. So 0.1X plus 0.2 times 100 is 20 equals 0.18 times, what is it? They said 100 of the 20%, that's Y. So X plus 100. And then we got our equation now we can solve. So 0.1x plus 20 equals distribute equals 0.18x plus 18. Subtract 18 from both sides. 0.1x plus 2 equals 0.18x. Subtract 0.1x from both sides. 2 equals 0.08x, right? And then divide both sides by 0.08. 2 divided by 0.08. Is 25. Let's see now if that makes sense. So it'd be 125, and 18% of 125, 18% of 125 is 22.5. And then 10% of 25 is 2.5. 20% of 100 is 20. So that all works out to be the same. Boom, done. 22. The first year, Eleanor organized a fundraising event. She invited 30 people. For each of the next 5 years, she invited double the number of people she had invited the previous year. For each of the following, okay, she invited 30 people. For the next 5 years, she invited double the number each year. So this is like an exponential, right? 2 to the t. So, or 2 to the n, let's say. If f of n is the number of people she invited the fundraiser n years after Eleanor, which of the following best describes the function? So, well, obviously it's increasing, and it is going to be exponential, but so the function, just let me read this, increasing exponential. For each of the next values, double the number she had. Yeah, so it's going to be 30, then 60, then 120, then 240. That's exponential. Linear would be growing by 5 every year, like 30, 35, 40, 45, etc. D is the winner, done. 23. Okay, some values of x and their corresponding y values are shown in the table above, where a is a constant. If there's a linear relationship between x and y, which of the following equations represents the relationship? All right, so it's going a, 3a, 5a. So it looks like it's going up by 2a every time. That's my slope. Or wait, sorry. No, what am I talking about? It's going up 2a while it goes down by a. So so the slope would be rise over run. A over negative 2a, which reduces to negative 1/2. So it's going to have a slope of negative 1/2. And then let's see if I can do a little plug and chug here. So I'm going to go to a point slope. So I'm going to choose a random point. I'm going to choose a0. So I'll say y minus 0, which is 0, equals slope of negative 1/2 times x minus the point I'm going to choose is a there. So guess what? Now I got equation, distribute. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1/2 a. Then we're going to multiply everything by 2, and I got 2y equals negative x plus a. And then now I can add x to the other side because it's in standard form. X plus 2y equals a. A is the winner. That was a lot of work, but I think we got them. All right. Some values of, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, hey, are you guys all done? Yeah. Thank you so much. All right, sorry guys. Here we go. Sorry. So, anyways, A is the winner. But what we can do is we can also plug this back in and make sure it works for every value, right? So I got A is x, y is 0. So I got A plus 0 is A. Boom. 3A plus 2 times negative A, right? So 3A plus negative 2A is A. So you can verify it that way. Like I could have gone that route. I could have just plugged in and chugged at the beginning, but I just figured, hey, I'll do it like more standard. All right. 24, the scatter plot above, let's go back to the timer. 24, the scatter plot above shows the number of registered voters, X, the number of people who voted in the last election for 7 districts, Y for last election. So that's the people who voted. This is the number of registered votes. A line of best fit for the data is also shown. Which of the following could be the equation of the line of best fit? Okay, got them. So what I'm going to do is, here's what I like to do for line of best fit. I'm just going to choose 2 points, 2 points. And especially because this is not even at 0, 0, and that's how you can get tripped up sometimes. So I'm going to say 140, 70. That's point number 1. I'm going to say 260, 30. That's point number 2. 130, excuse me. And I'm going to subtract down and get my slope. And I'm going to get negative 60, the difference of the y's, over negative, what is that, 120, right? So if I simplify, positive 60 over 120 is 1/2, right? So I already know the slope is supposed to be positive 1/2, which means it's got to be B. But then I'm going to also, just to be safe, I'm going to be like, y, I'm going to choose these 2 points and do point slope. Y minus 70 equals 1/2 x minus 140, right? So then I distribute, and I get y equals, I'm going to say 1/2 x, and then that's negative 70, and then I'm going to simultaneously add 70 to this side, which these cancel out. You can see that is the right equation. Boom, done. All right, numero 25. Here we go. The system of equations above is graphed in the xy plane. What is the x coordinate of the intersection of the point xy of the system? All right, so we want to solve this system. We got crazy decimals, which is terrible. So first thing, I'm going to multiply everything by 10. I'm going to make it 24x minus 15y equals 3. Then I'm going to multiply this by 10. 16x plus 5y equals negative 13. Then I'm going to use elimination. I'm going to multiply the bottom by 3, and we got 48x plus 15y equals negative 39. Now I'm going to combine these two equations. Not this one, though. Top and bottom. So that cancels, that cancels. 24x plus 48x is 72x equals negative 39 plus 3 is negative 36. I'm going to divide both sides by 72. X equals, it's going to be negative 1/2 or negative 0.5. And that's it. That's what they wanted, the x value. So I'm going to double check this, though, because the numbers are kind of crazy, right? So if I have negative 0.5, half of that is negative 1.2 minus 1.5y equals 0.3. I'm going to add 1.2 to both sides, and I get negative 1.5y equals 1.5. So y equals negative 1. So I got the solution set now. Now I'm going to plug it back into both equations and make sure I get the right answers. And that way I'm totally certain. Now, again, this is, if you're running low on time, you can't do all this, but watch how quickly I can do it even without a calculator. If your mental math is good, you can do it. So half of this, again, negative 1.2 plus negative 1.5, because it's just, or sorry, positive, plus 1.5. Negative 1.2 plus 1.5 is 0.3. Boom, done. Here, negative 1/2, negative 0.8 minus 0.5. Hold on. Negative, what am I doing? Negative 0.8 minus 0.5 is negative 1.3. Double verified, done. 26. Keith modeled growth over several hundred years of a tree population, estimated number of tree pollen grains per square centimeter that were deposited, blah, blah. He estimated each year that there were 310 pollen grams per square centimeter the first year the grains were deposited, with a 1% annual increase in the number of grains per square centimeter thereafter. Which of the following functions? Okay, this is an exponential equation, and it's growing by 1% every year, which means what we need inside the expression is 1.01. So I'm immediately thinking this is the answer. It would be a decrease by 1%, right? It says it's increasing, so this would be a 1% decrease. So that's how, I mean, honestly, this just makes no sense. You can quickly test it if you're like at 10 years, you know, 1% every year, it's not going to be that much bigger. It's going to be bigger, like maybe, if I had to guess, 10%. Or 10 years, it'd be percent every year. So it'd be like 30, let's say around like 40, 45. It should be like 355. If I plug 10 into either of these equations, it's going to be massive. It's going to make no sense. So those are definitely out if you want to analyze them that way as well. Which is a great backup for exponentials. Like, I know what it should be roughly in 3 years. So which one gives me that? Okay. Solve for 3x minus 2. I'm just going to solve for x straight up. 2/3 of 9 is 6. Minus 2/3 of 6 is 4. Minus 4 equals 9x minus 6. Subtract 6x from both sides. Combine like terms. Negative 8 equals 3x minus 6. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. 3x equals negative 2, right? 6 plus negative 8, and divide by 3. Divide by 3. X equals negative 2/3. I'm going to plug it back in here because we're not trying to get negative 2/3. So it's 3 times negative 2/3 minus 2. So negative 2/3 of 3 is negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. Boom, done. 28. The function f is defined above. If k is positive integer, which of the following could represent the graph of y equals f of x in the xy plane? Okay, the function f above. If k is positive integer, which of the following could represent this graph? Okay, so if k is positive, let's say it's 5, right? That means that I'll have, first of all, this thing is going up. There's no way it's going down. But let's say it's positive like this. It means it should have a 0 at negative 3 for this guy and then some positive value. Like here, it looks good because it's a positive root of 2, but it's going down, like I said, which it shouldn't be because there's no, the a value is not going to be negative. So a and b are out. And then, what did we say? We have a 0 at negative 3. So this is out because it doesn't have a 0 at negative 3. And then this one is negative 3 and positive 2. D is the winner. Done. Next. Okay, let's go to 29. The formula above can be used to approximate the height h in inches of adult male based on the length of his femur. What is the meaning of 1.88 in this context? So this is the slope. So every additional 1 inch that what is it? What's the length of L? sorry, adult male based on L in inches of femur. So every 1 inch that the femur grows, that the femur is, the height will be 1.88 bigger. Now, if you're not sure, this is where you can make a table and really benefit. So I can say, like, I'll just make a simple thing. When L is 0, you're 32.01 things tall. When L is 1, you multiply it 1.88, and then 1.88 plus that is 33.89, and so on and so forth. So you already verified that every 1 inch there, we get 1.88 there. For a man with a height of approximate, no. The approximate increase for a man's femur length in inches for each, no, that makes no sense. Approximate increase of man's femur length, no, it's an approximate increase in height in inches for one. It's exactly what we just said. D, boom, done. Number 30, last one for the multiple choice. Quadrilateral ABC. These guys are parallel, and CD is 1/2 AB, which means if CD is X, it's half. So this one is 2X, right? I could say X and 1/2 X, but I don't want to use fractions. What is the measure of angle B? So I remember this question. This is a special right triangle in disguise. All you got to do is draw a line down here, and you'll see how to do this. So if I draw that line like this, it's the same thing. It's still going to be a right angle here. And this is still going to be X. And now you can see it, hopefully. We made a special right triangle because it's X, 2X. This side is going to be X root 3, okay? But I know enough just from this. So I know that this has to be 30. 30 is opposite the little guy. That means 60 is up here. And, of course, we already know 90 is down there. If this is 60 and this is 90, they want the full angle of angle B before I drew the line there. So 60 plus 90 is 150. Boom, done. There might be another. No, I don't think there's another way to do it. 153. Yeah, I think you got to do that. Okay. Whoops. Now we go downtown to 31. All right. 31. Lynn has $8 to spend on apples and oranges. Apple costs 65 cents. Okay. 65 cents each for each apple, and oranges cost 75 cents for each orange. So this is X and this is Y. If there is no tax on this purchase and she buys 5 apples, so X is apple, so 5 times 60 is $3.25, right? Oh, what am I doing? $3.25, $3.25, yeah, plus 0.75 Y equals 8. What is the maximum number of whole oranges she can buy? So I'm going to subtract from both sides 325. So I get 0.75 Y equals, that's 4.75. I'm doing a lot of mental math, and I'm not advising that by any means. It's just like I'm really comfortable with it, so I kind of do more maybe than I should. Then I divide both sides by 0.75, 0.75, 0.75. And I'm going to double check all this stuff, honestly, because free response, you have to be careful. 4.75 divided by 0.75 is 6.33, but she can't buy 6 1/3. She can't buy 7. She can buy 6. Now let's double check. So she buys 5 apples. 5 times, what was it? 0.65. And that's that. And then you have to do 8 minus that because that's how much money she has left over. And then she has that, right? It's all the same, divided by 75 cents. 6 is the winner, done. Number 32. Triangle above A equals 34. What is the value of B plus C? Triangle angle sum theorem. All these angles add up to 180. So B plus C plus that is 34. I can't figure out what B and C are individually, but I can know their sum is going to be 180 minus 34, which is 146. Check that math. 30 plus 146 is 176 plus 4 is 180. Boom, done. Number 33. Go back to the timer. Number 33. If the mean of the first 5 numbers is if the mean of the 5 numbers is 1600 was the value of X. Got them. So we're gonna add all these up, right? 700 plus 1200. Watch how I turn it into equation just based on what they're saying. Plus 1600 plus 2000 plus X. The mean of this, meaning divide them and add them and divide by 5 is, sorry, I don't have a lot of room, 1600. Now I got an equation. I'll solve. Multiply both sides by 5 and I get 8,000 on the left side. And then on the right, I'm going to do it mentally just for fun, but use your calculator if you got it and you want to be more careful. 2,300, 3,300, 35. Wait, hold on. 2,300, 3,300, 3,500, and 5,500. Sorry, 5,500 plus X. Subtract 5,500 from both sides. X equals 2,500, and that's the answer. Now let me double check. So obviously, if the mean of the 5 numbers is 1,600, we know the total has to be 8,000, which we already calculated. So this is 1,900 2,900, 3,500, 5,500. So it has to be 5,500. Oh my God, wait. 55, yeah, it's got to be 2,500. What am I talking? I was like, oh no, it's 35. Okay, 34. The relationship between x and y can be written as this, where m is a constant. If y equals 17 when x equals a, what is the value of y when x equals 2a? Wait, what am I doing here? Huh? If x and y can be written as y, where m is a constant, if y equals 17 when x equals a, oh, so we can, so, wait a minute, I can solve for m, right? So, m, oh, I get it. M equals 17 over a. Okay, so I'm just going to be like, cool, now I got a value for m in terms of a. So now I'm going to rewrite this as y equals 17 over a times x. What is the value of y when x equals 2a? Okay, so the reason why it's confusing, I was like, wait, you can't actually get a number. But here, just the lesson here is set up what you can, simplify as much as possible, and plug and chug and see what happens. Because watch, now I get y equals 17 over a times 2a. And guess what? The a's cancel out. 2 times 17 is 34. That's the winner. Done. So this is what the value, yeah. Let me just make sure. So y equals 17. So 17a, and when x equals a, hold on. Did I do that right? Y equals 17 when x equals a. Yeah, 17 equals m times a. So m equals 17 over a. So plug in, there's my formula. And then what is 2a cancels 34? Yes, done. All right, 35. Have to double check, have to triple check actually on the free response. In the equation above, a and b are constants. The equation has infinitely many solutions. What is the value of b? That means the left and right have to be the exact same. So distribute. Ax plus ba equals 4x plus 10. That means this has to be the same and this has to be the same, which means a has to equal 4. And if a is 4, then b times 4 equals 10, which means divide both sides by 4. b equals 10 over 4, which is 2.5 for the win. Done. 36. In the xy plane, a line that has the equation y equals c for some constant intersects a parabola at exactly 1 point. So here's the line. Oh, wait, it's at 1 point. Sorry. The only way a horizontal line like this intersects at 1 point is if it just touches that vertex. I already know that. Oh, and then never mind. It's different. It's a parabola with a negative a value. So just for fun, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to write it like this. Okay. So y equals is what is the value of c? What is the y value where it intersects? Okay, so check it out. What are they trying to get you to do? Find the vertex, find the y value of the vertex, and that's what this is going to equal. So what is the vertex? It's not in vertex form, but it is in standard form. So the vertex can be, that's a and that's b, right? Negative b over 2a. That's the x value of the vertex. So that's really helpful. So negative b is 5. So negative 5 over 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. So the vertex is occurring at 5 over 2. But again, they want the value of c, which is the y value. So you plug that back in and get the y value. So it's negative 5 over 2 squared plus 5 times 5 over 2. That's 25 over 4 negative. So negative 25 over 4 plus 25 over 2. And that's 50 over 4. 50 plus negative 25 is 25 over 4. And we can enter it like that. You can also enter it as a decimal, which would go in 6.25, right? You can also enter it like that. Maybe I'll just make that my answer. And then, hold on. Let me just double check. 25 over 4 is 6.25. Boom, done. Okay. Oh, wait, we have to double check. So then, how do we double check this? Is that the okay, I don't know. I'll just do a random way. So I'm going to factor out negative x, and I'm going to say x minus 5. So I know that this is another way you can find the vertex. The x-intercepts are 0 and 5. So the vertex is right in between them at 2.5. So if you plug it in, 2.5 squared is negative 6.25 plus 5 times 2.5, which is 12.25. And 5 times 2.5 is 12.5. 12.5 plus negative 6.25 is 6.25. Done. 37. The Peregrine Falcon can reach speeds of 200 miles per hour. What is the Peregrine Falcon? This was like one of my favorite animals as a kid because they're the fastest animal on the planet, I think. While diving to catch prey in feet per second. So round your answer to the nearest whole number. Oh, feet per second. So 200 miles per hour. And it's time, then we go feet per second. So we're going to convert it from miles to feet. So miles, so 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. And then times, so we converted the miles to feet, and then we need to convert hours to feet per second. So then 1 hour is 60 minutes, and 1 minute is 60 seconds. And I was like miles, feet. Oh, sorry. We want feet, excuse me. Hours, minutes, and then see, we're left with feet per second. Now all we got to do is multiply in the calculator. You could do this without one. It's just really a pain. So look how I'm going to be so careful with my numbers. Make sure I don't mistype anything. So on the top is 200 times that, which gives me that. And then the bottom, we divide by 60 times 60, which is 3,600. And we got, nearest whole number. Okay, so just round 293. 293 feet per second. It's kind of hard to double check something like this. You could do it again if you have the time. I'm probably not going to, but I just try to be so careful the first time I enter the numbers, and that usually protects me. If a peregrine falcon dove at its maximum speed for a half mile to catch prey, how many seconds would the dive take? Distance equals rate times time. Okay. So I'm going to use the 200 miles per hour. Wait, should I do? Yeah, I could. No, I'm going to use miles per hour. It's easier. So I'm going to say a distance of 0.5 equals a rate of 200, and we're trying to figure out the time. Now, remember, this is in miles per hour. So when I get a time value, it's going to be in hours. I have to convert it to seconds. So I'm going to divide both sides by 200, divide both sides by 200. And I've got 0.5 divided by 200 is 0.0025. So then I got 0.02025 equals t. That's in hours. I need to convert it to seconds. So first I'm going to convert it to minutes by multiplying it by 60. And so it's now 0.15 minutes. And then to convert it to seconds, I multiply by 60 again, and it's 9 seconds. So they dive 9 seconds. Now let's think about that for a second, right? Does that make sense? So in 9 seconds, because if you're going 200 miles per hour, that means in an hour, and obviously in an hour you go 200 miles. In 6 minutes, you go 20 miles. In six minutes, you go 20 miles. In 0.6 minutes, you go 2 miles. I'm just doing a mental check. 0.6 minutes, which is 3/5, which is 36 seconds. So 36 seconds, you go 2 miles, and divide by 4, that's half a mile. And that's 36 divided by 4 is 9. So anyways, like I said, I'm just showing you different ways to check your work at the end. We're going to stop the timer, and we're going to grade it. Time for the red pen of justice. All right, so we got 1 and 2 is B and A. Boom, boom. All right, now we got to go all the way down to here. Come on, bro. Here we go. All right, then we go B, C, C, D. B, C, C, D. Then we go with 7 is B, C, C, D. B, again, D, C, C, D. 2 like kind of patterns. 11 is A, C, C, A, A, C, C, A. 15 is B, C, D, C. B, C, D, C. 19 is D, C, B, D. D, C, B, D. And 23 is A, B, A, D. A, B, A, D. And 27 is A, D, D, A. D, D, A. And now we go down. 31 is 6. 32 is 146. 33 is 2,500. 34 is 34. That's cool. I didn't even notice that. And then that's 2.5 or 5 halves. 25 forwards or 6.25. 293. And for the win is 9. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Test number 10 is done. So that's it, my friends. We'll do a little Q&A. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. And I hope you've seen those 7 tips. If you haven't, watch them. That series just got released. So if you go to the videos section on the main page, you'll be able to see them. 7 tips for success. Let me see what we got here. I'm taking it in 17 hours. Good luck. I hope this is so awesome. I think you guys are talking to each other. I got a 1530. Wow, congratulations. I think is that Ronnie, or that's not, because that's like sounds like almost an Indian name. I'm not sure, but I mean AP English is still hard for me. Let's see, we got any questions? Okay, so guys, this is what here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay, as we go forward, right? Like I want to talk about tips, but honestly, I made that entire series. Those are my main tips. I'm going to just post the link in case you guys haven't seen that playlist. So I want everybody to watch that and make sure you have it. Let's see. I think if I go here. Wow, look at that. We're so close to 50,000. I wonder if anybody's on this and hasn't subscribed. Please subscribe. Let's see if we can get it to over 50,000 right now. That'd be incredible. I'll be so happy you make my day. Hold on, where is the playlist of this? Here it is. So it's this one. 7 perfect. I think this will give you the playlist, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, it's 1 through 7. All right, beautiful. So this is what I want you guys to watch right here. And this will be the kind of playlist of all these tips that I created this week. And make sure to watch this series. It'll take you like 15 minutes to watch all the tips. Tomorrow, let's talk about tonight first. Tonight, here's what I want you to do. Depending on where you are in the world, right, it might be a different time. Here in LA, it's only 2:30. I want you to chill for the rest of the day. If you really feel like you need to study hard right now, I mean, study. Do what you feel. If it's going to make you anxious to not study, I say do it. But don't feel like you have to pull an all-nighter or go really, really hard. I remember seeing advice from somebody being like, well, you're always used to pulling all-nighters in school for finals, so you should just do the same for this test. I mean, like, there's some logic to that in the sense of what's it called? Like, you know, mirroring the circumstances and kind of getting your brain and body into that same zone. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, a lot of times why are you cramming is because you have to memorize certain things. Here, I'm hoping you're at a point now where it's just more about being fresh and being able to catch the little tricks and stuff like that. If there's still a ton of math and you're like totally last minute and you need to learn more, okay, it's a different thing. But anyways, my point is try and wrap up at a reasonable hour. That way you can let your anxiety levels go down. You can eat something healthy for dinner and then chill. People say, hey, should I go see a new movie? Should I do this? Should I do that? You can see a movie. I just want to see a really crazy action movie that's going to hype you up and get your adrenaline levels high. I would see something chill, maybe a cool TV show, something that you like, read a book. And then tomorrow morning, here's the dealio. Make sure you've got everything you need for the test. I've got a video on that as well, everything you need to bring, especially during COVID. So you got to bring a mask and all that stuff as well. And then go to the test, bring your calculator, make sure you got fresh batteries. A watch is preferable that is silent so you can keep track of the time. I always bring 3 pencils, so I recommend make sure they're fully sharpened, get an eraser. You can even bring a pencil sharpener, little one if you have one, and water and a snack. For breakfast, I would recommend light, but protein, definitely eggs are a great go-to, even some meat. I would not eat carbs if you can avoid it. And coffee and caffeine only if you're already doing that. If you're already taking it, Eunice, I'm going to answer your question in 1 second, by the way. I see it. Only drink coffee if that's what you do. If it's not part of your routine, don't do it. Just do what's natural. Get to your test center early. Do not be rushing at the end because that's going to give you an adrenaline dump. Oh my God, I'm going to be late, blah, blah. Then you sit down, the adrenaline dump goes away, and then you're tired. So make sure to get there extra early and get in line and do all that stuff. And then you're chilling, you're relaxing. Calculated recommendations, Eunice, right here. This is awesome. It's the TI-84 Plus. I don't know if you'll be able to get it at this point for this test. It might be, I don't know what's open right now, but you can get it on Amazon at some point, maybe for the next one. But it's awesome, and it's usually on sale on Amazon for like $120. I know that's still very expensive, but I mean, I don't know. It's worth it. It's awesome. In terms of, I really don't know the other options, like quality for cheaper ones, but I love this one. Yeah, watch Batman afterwards. Good. Yeah, good. I like, that's literally the right way to do. Yeah, you got it right, Art. When you're talking about square root 4 is plus minus 2, but you don't include the negative. That's why I said on all these radical problems, just take the positive root. That's kind of the key. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to conclude. I don't know if there's specific watches, but I take this one. It doesn't make any noise, and it's just, chill. I'm going to call it a day. This is it. Day 11 of 11. This has been amazing. This has been super fun. I've been getting to see all you guys and talk to you and hopefully help you guys and give me a lot of positive messages. It's been a crazy, crazy week for me. So many things are going on that I can't get into, but it's just been wild. And to end the week like this with you guys, with all the support, like 125 people on here right now, and to know that you guys are going to do amazing is incredible. Remember, I'm taking it tomorrow as well in LA. We're going to shoot a vlog tomorrow, which is awesome. And then we're going to post it in about 10 days from tomorrow when the scores come out. And it's going to be sick, and we can't wait. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you all the best of luck tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you liked the video, click that like button. And if you want to see more from the Scale It Learning channel, make sure to click subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next video.